Right now, somewhere in your pocket or on the table beside you, a small glass rectangle is waiting. You will pick it up in the next few minutes. You already know this. You probably don't know why. The real answer is far stranger than boredom or habit, and it starts 2 million years before smartphones existed. Your ancestors did not check rocks, they did not check trees, but they checked the tree line again and again for movement that might mean food or might mean death. That checking behavior kept them alive. It is still running inside you today, just aimed at a different kind of tree line. Think about the last time you unlocked your phone for no clear reason. No notification, no buzz. Your thumb just moved on its own. That is not weakness. That is an ancient survival circuit firing exactly as designed. Except the predator it is scanning for now is a red notification dot. Here is the strange part. Your brain doesn't release its reward chemical, dopamine, when you get the good news. It releases dopamine when you don't yet know what you're going to get. The neuroscientist Wolfram Schultz discovered this while recording individual neurons in monkeys as they waited for juice rewards. The dopamine spike didn't happen at the reward. It happened at the uncertainty right before it. Your ancestors scanning the horizon felt that exact same spike, not when they spotted the antelope, but in the seconds before they knew if today's hunt would work out. Uncertainty, it turns out, is more addictive than certainty. Isn't that strange? You would think your brain wants answers. It doesn't. It wants the search. In the 1950s, a psychologist named B.F. Skinner ran a now famous experiment with pigeons and a lever. When the lever delivered a food pellet every single time, the pigeons pressed it occasionally, almost lazily. They had figured out the pattern, so the mystery was gone. And without mystery, the urgency faded too. But when Skinner rigged the lever to pay out on a random, unpredictable schedule, something changed. The pigeons pressed it obsessively. They couldn't stop. Some kept pressing long after the food ran out completely. Skinner called this variable ratio reinforcement, and it remains one of the most powerful behavioral patterns ever documented in a laboratory. It is the same mechanism behind slot machines. It is the same mechanism behind a fishing line that finally tugs after an hour of nothing. Your phone is that lever. Every scroll is a press, sometimes nothing, sometimes a message that makes your whole day. You never know which one is coming, and that not knowing is precisely why you can't put it down. Notice that the apps you find hardest to close are rarely the ones that reward you every time. They're the ones that reward you just often enough to keep the search alive, and just rarely enough that you can never predict when. But why would evolution build a brain this obsessed with uncertain rewards in the first place? Because for most of human history, uncertainty was the entire game. Picture a small band of early humans on the African savanna roughly 2 million years ago. Food was not guaranteed. A watering hole might have prey today and nothing tomorrow. A distant rustle in tall grass might be wind, or it might be a leopard. The humans who survived were not the ones who ignored these signals. They were the ones whose brains lit up with urgency every single time a signal appeared, just in case this was the one that mattered. This is called threat and opportunity monitoring, and it never had an off switch. There was no evolutionary advantage to a brain that got bored of checking. Imagine two early humans standing at that same watering hole. One checks the grass line once, decides it's probably fine, and goes back to resting. The other checks it constantly, restlessly, unable to fully relax even when nothing seems wrong. Over 10,000 generations, which one is more likely to have descendants? The restless one. Every single time. The band that stopped scanning the grass line got eaten. The band that kept scanning survived and passed that exact wiring down to you, gene by gene, until it became less a choice and more a reflex baked into the architecture of attention itself. Fast forward 2 million years. The savanna is gone. The leopards are gone. Famine is rare for most people reading this, but the scanning circuit did not get the memo. It is still fully installed, sitting in the oldest part of your brain, and now it has nothing left to check except a screen that refreshes infinitely all day, every day, offering an endless supply of tiny, ambiguous signals for it to chew on. This is where the story gets even stranger, because your phone isn't just triggering an old survival circuit, it's triggering a second one built entirely around other people. The psychiatrist John Bowlby, working in London in the 1950s and 60s, studied what happens to children separated from their karagi.